Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the thumb. So today I'm going to do a quick little recap on a couple of past videos, um, little updates, whatever you want to say. The one is will deer fence work? Um, here's so here's what soybeans look like where I'm not running the cattle through them. Pretty good. I mean, for what I got into them and how I planted them, whatever. Yeah, they're doing all right. I mean, there's a little. This is only like an acre. It's behind my barn here. Yeah, and if you're wondering why I'm letting the cattle graze, well, I'm gonna combine these beans with my all crop, and yeah, I would either had to drive across them or let the cattle have them. Either way, I'm wasting them. So, um, well, I don't know if they're going on the calves' back. I guess it's not really a waste. But yeah, I'm just doing this strip and this strip. I think by the time I get to the end of that strip, it'll be, beans will be dried down. They're just starting to wither and dry. I did plant some. It was like a leftover bag of pasture mix. I had a whole bunch of stuff. Must have had 15 things in it. But I planted that, and then I went ahead and planted some orchard grass. Just broadcasted it with a hand spreader, and yeah. So hopefully by the time the leaves all drop, there'll be something there for them to eat. And then way back there's a hayfield, and I'm gonna get some round bales from the guy when he bales that for my winter feed. Yeah, so back to the deer fence. Yeah, if in the past this patch has been devastated with deer damage. I mean, these beans, honestly, they would be pretty much, they would look like this if I wouldn't have had this fence around it. I did see when I first put the fence up, I saw a few get in there, but I was kind of watching when I was broadcasting that stuff the other day. Didn't see any tracks out there, no browse from the deer, nothing. I mean, so yeah, it worked. I mean, if this patch was in the middle of the woods, maybe not, but man, it's got me seriously considering just putting a fence around that whole farm, the whole 80 acres on the other farm, where the real crops are. But yeah, so there's that. Yeah, so yeah, I'm convinced the deer fence will work. I think the biggest key to it is having that white rope in there. I did get the pleasure of watching a deer come up and sniff it and get a zap and run away. So yeah, I think that's the key to it, is just having something that they can see. I mean, if they're trotting along and hit the fence, they'd probably just keep right on going in. But yeah, if they get curious, deer are curious, and they'll come up. They probably came up and sniffed that, and once they sniffed it, they just stayed away. So yeah, and I actually last week sometime I went around with a weed whacker and trimmed under the fence, and over on that side the soybeans were actually growing up and hitting the fence, so I had to weed whack them too. But even along the fence there was no browsing, so they were just definitely staying clear of it. So yeah, so I guess that's the recap on that deer fencing video. Okay, so here's a recap on the video on where I did the roller crimping, and I broadcasted the rye and buckwheat, and I'm trying to think, there was some sorghum in there, but I don't have real high hopes for that because sorghum's kind of wimpy and there's a lot of competition here. But yeah, the buckwheat is doing okay. And then Yeah, there's a radish. There's another radish. There's some radishes here too. And apparently the deer know everything's here. But yeah, the rye is coming in nice and thick, and that's what I wanted, because yeah, I wanted that rye to be really thick, and hopefully in the spring that'll smother everything out, and it'll get rid of anything that's, you know, with the allelopathic effect of the rye. Maybe it'll get rid of some of that stuff that I can't get rid of. So yeah, I guess best case scenario, this buckwheat will flower and go to seed before it gets frosted off, and then, you know, call me nuts, but if it gets frosted off with some good viable seed, I'm thinking probably in about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, we should get a frost. And hopefully it'll, if the buckwheat's ready and it gets killed off, I'll let it dry down a little bit and maybe run through that with the all crop and see what I can get for seed out of it. That's like new grounds for me, so maybe I'm nuts, maybe I'm not. I don't know. We'll find out. I probably am. But anyway, yeah, I got kind of a busy day. I got to run to town, do some banking, run a service call. And then I want to get my, I got to pick up a little calf feed. And I want to get, it ain't quite ready yet, but this oats is, I don't know. I don't want to take a chance on waiting too long on it. So I might go ahead and take that off tomorrow. It's kind of cloudy today, and it probably won't dry real good today. So, but tomorrow's supposed to be a little more sun. So I got, yeah, I don't know, probably about 2 acres. I mean, but I want to put that all, or the scour clean on my all crop, because there is a lot of ragweed in there, and that should take the ragweed seed out of it, and should be a pretty clean sample. So yeah, that's the recap on that, and I guess that's kind of what I got going today. Yeah, this is, I guess this field, I kind of skipped over that. Here goes a nice little deer. But anyway, I kind of put myself in deer watching mode. Lost train of thought. Oh yeah, so this was oats too, but it wasn't even worth combining, so I just came out and brush hogged it, just so it, all the seed, or all the weeds that were in there, didn't hopefully go to seed. And then once I get that oats taken off, I'll probably rip this all up one more time, and because it's still pretty rough. I mean, rough as in, you know, you have to really kind of keep your mouth shut and grit your teeth a little bit when you're driving across it, because it'll rattle you to death. But anyway, I want to get her smoothed out good, and then I'm going to plant rye in this too. And I think I'm going to plant some Balanza clover with the rye. So we'll see how that works out. I like experiments.